Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. You are in for a special treat today, and that is because we have the BARRA 250Z in for review. And this gun has been something that I've just been dying to get my hands on ever since I saw it at SHOT Show this year, because it really is actually everything I was hoping for in airguns since a long time back, and that is an airgun that doesn't look all airgunny. This thing doesn't have a giant bottle or big old cylinder to make it so, well, ugly. This thing actually looks a lot like just a regular bolt-action rifle. So today we've got my DNT ThermNight on top of here, and we are going to be putting this guy through its paces, not only with the Yokozuna moderator here, but of course several other moderators, shooting it at 50 and 100 yards. And we're going to just start right off with the AEA 21.9 grain pellets right here at 50 yards to see if this thing lives up to the velocity claims of 1,000 feet a second. All right, there we go. 1,005. Well, it is definitely doing exactly what it said it was going to do. One thousand and four. 1,004. 1,002. 1,003. 1,003. This thing is so consistent, you guys. 1,001. 1,006. 1,001. And that was it. 10 shots. So one sort of disadvantage to the BARRA 250Z is that because the air is stored in the shroud around the barrel, there's really not any included moderation or suppression from the factory at all, and that's why you're definitely going to want a moderator. So as promised, next up we've got several different moderators in the bag for testing. We've got the classic 0dB, super quiet, super accurate. Also the Impulse Air, a little bit of a renegade here. We've got the Yokozuna and the Ryu from Donnie FL, and the included moderator that came with my MA2 from McAvity Arms. I'm going to shoot this at 50 yards, and we're actually throwing on a different scope now. Still from DNT Optics, except this is the Zulus. Doesn't have the thermal, but still does the day and night vision, and actually one of my favorite DNT Optics. Check them out in the link below, guys. Let's go ahead and get this thing started here at 50 yards. I'm going to shoot all of these things and then show you guys which one ended up to be the most accurate. You don't want to spend all day just watching different things that don't work, but let's see what does. Dang. Wow. All right. I think the 0dB is the winner, but let's go down there and get a closer look to make sure. All right, so we kind of worked our way around the target here, and we started off with the 0dB, shot 5 shots right there. Very accurate, just about exactly 1 inch in size. Awesome group. Came over here, shot this group, did even a little bit better right there with that included moderator that came with the McAvity Arms MA2. So those were our first two groups. We came up right here and shot this group next with that Impulse Air moderator. Had, looks like 3 shots go through right there and 2 shots right there, a little bit over 1 inch. Not super impressed with the results out of that guy. Came down here, shot a group with the Donnie FL Ryu, about the same size as this group here, maybe a little bit larger. Cool thing about this one is that it's actually really just as quiet almost as this MA2 moderator, except it's a lot smaller, but definitely not as good in the accuracy category. Came up here, shot this group right here with the Donnie FL Yokozuna, and I had a feeling the Yokozuna could do just a little bit better than that. So I shot another group right there with the Yokozuna, about 1.5 inches in size for that one. Not super impressed with anything really except for this 0 dB. Shot that final group right there with the 0 dB. All shots just stacking. I mean, we had the one go a little bit low, but that is a sub-inch group for sure right there. So we've got 0 dB, 0 dB, and then that MA2. I'm gonna have to do a little more testing with that guy right there. But unless you've got yourself an MA2, you're not gonna really have much luck getting one of those moderators. So I think that the best mod for this gun that you can buy is gonna be that 0 dB. It's super quiet, just as quiet as the Yokozuna, and very, very accurate. All right, well, now that we've seen what it can do at 50 yards, it's time to go ahead and test it at 100. So I've got my Echo Gong target set out here at 100 yards, and we're gonna do a couple of groups here and see what this thing can do at a distance greater than 50 yards. There's gonna be some dead rats tonight, baby. It's a little bit breezy out still this evening. Here, look, I'll show you. You can see my wind meter right there. Still spinning away. So, I'm sure it's probably blowing 5 to 8 miles an hour right now. But it was just too perfect of a night. Had to get out here and just enjoy this, right? So, here we are. Let's check out these groups. How did it turn out for us for 100 yarding? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots right there like that. And then we've got basically a full mag down here. This was 9 shots. And then I put that 10th shot up there on the center gong. Because this target, man, it rings out so nice. Sounds so good. Love these Echo Gong targets. All right, so to cover just a couple more things about the BARRA 250Z to sort of round out this review, one thing I definitely want to make sure that I mention is that this is impressing me on the shot count. Not only is it delivering 1,000 or more feet per second with a 21.9 grain pellet, but it's also delivering 4 or even maybe 4.5 solid mags per fill. That's 45 shots, much more than I was anticipating getting out of a rifle with what seems to be a small volume of air, but I guess they're actually able to cram quite a bit of air in that shroud around the barrel. Another thing I want to mention is that it does have an adjustable trigger, but the trigger is not, well, it's not fantastic. I've tried doing my best to adjust it, and it's definitely better now than it was when it came out of the box, but it's not what I'm used to on those higher dollar rifles like the Brococks and the Daystates, so forth. It's just not as crisp, but it definitely gets the job done, and as you guys could see from this video, I was able to get some pretty decent accuracy out of it nonetheless. The last thing I want to mention is, of course, it has a rear bolt action, which a lot of you air gunners out there are, of course, going to poo-poo at, but I think is actually pretty awesome. It's sort of like a breath of fresh air when you get to shoot this rifle, because it really feels like you're shooting a standard bolt action rifle and not like you're shooting just some piddly airgun. So there you have it, guys. I think the BARRA 250Z is actually a pretty awesome air rifle, and especially, of course, when you consider the price. I'm not gonna say it's X amount or this amount, but I will say that it's under 500 bucks, of course, depending on where you get it and the sales and so forth and yada yada. But to be able to pick this up for less than 500 bucks, to me, means that it's a really good buy, especially with all things considered. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked hanging out with me today, definitely hang out with me some more. Click on one of the other couple of videos that I've got up on screen right now, or check out some of the cool stuff down in the links below. I've got the DNT optics down there and a bunch of my other gear that I'm using. So check them out, support the channel, buy some of that cool stuff. And of course, guys, until next time, shoot straight, stay free. I love y'all.